Hello, this is how I made this shot at the beginning of my film. So, to do this shot I used Blender and After Effects. To begin with, I downloaded a 3D model that I like the look of. I thought this is a good ship from Star Wars, especially because it's a single Jedi that will be in it. I don't need anyone else, so I don't need a big ship. Could use this. Downloaded it. The benefits of downloading it is that when I was able to just import the textures straight from the file into the principal shader, the principal node, which is very helpful because I didn't have to texture it myself because I'm not very good at that. So I just played on my strengths, which is just the animating part. So once I'd done that, I created a path and edited the vertices so it created nice curves and smooth motion. I then added a object constraint to the ship, which was a follow path constraint, which you can see down here. So if I go here, it says follow path. So I added that to the ship, which meant that when I pressed play, the timeline went through. So I clicked animate path and the ship flew along the path. I then set the amount of frames for the path to last at about, I think it was 100, because the ship keeps going on for quite a while after the path finishes. So I set the, it was 100. So I set that for the amount of frames. Once I'd done that, I animated the camera. So these keyframes down here, pressing I and location rotation keyframe here. So then I made it pan along. So if I go into camera view, you can see the ship comes down, pans through. You can see the back of it where the jets are. Once I'd done that, I knew I needed some glow on the back of the ship because of the rockets. So when it got here, I created 2 cylinders, and on the material I created an emission, which made them glow. Although, now I think about it, there could have been some slight changes to that. So I added 2 cylinders to the back and positioned them by using G and moving them around into the back engine jets of the ship. And then by clicking that and then pressing Control P, I parented the cylinder to the ship, which means when it plays through, the cylinders just follow the position of the ship, which is very helpful. I then did the same with the other cylinder, and the emission meant that in the rendered view, if I go to rendered view, it will make the outside of the engine boosters glow. You can see that around the edges just there. Oh, hello. Yeah, so you can see them glow around there. Go into camera view and then play through. I used an HDRI for the environment of this animation. I tried to select an HDRI that looked the most spacey as possible. I think this is quite a good one, and the light matches the ship very well. So once I'd got the HDRI, I had to make sure that all of the light in the rest of my scene was coming from the right hand side. As you can see up there's where the sun is, or the light source, and it's shining down here. There's a shadow on this bit, and the light is showing on the edge of that bit of the ship there. So when I brought this into After Effects, I had to have the light coming from the right hand side up here, following down to this this planet and the ship. So once that was rendering, I used a PNG sequence to render, so it was easy to put into After Effects and adjust and animate how I wanted. Well, not animate, but like composite how I wanted. While that was rendering, I downloaded a script that I could use for the camera position or the camera movement. I copy the camera data from Blender into After Effects, which meant when I went into After Effects, press U, I've got all of these keyframes, which is the position of the camera, which means when I bring the PNG sequence of the ship in and align the camera position and PNG sequence up perfectly, you wouldn't know that ship is now a 2D layer, because if it was aligned wrong, it would look slightly odd, because the ship is now a 2D layer. There's no 3D, there's no back to it, it's just that image because of the PNG sequence. So I had to align the camera and the PNG sequence perfectly, but that was very helpful for me to be able to bring it into After Effects, because I'm not very familiar with compositing in Blender, because I tried to do a planet in Blender, it didn't really work very well. So once I'd done that, I brought it into After Effects, made sure the light was coming from the same position, added a point light, I put it up here, I then added the planet, and to make the planet, this is where it got a bit confusing for me. So I added the orb plugin to a solid. Within this solid there is a 3D sphere, but the solid is a 2D layer. So what I had to do was, so the planet was in the correct position and the camera panned to reveal it, I had to reposition the sphere by dragging it out from this center anchor point all the way out to around here in front of the camera, so when it panned through it will reveal the shape or the planet as a 3D planet. Once I'd done that, I found a texture from Solar Textures and Video Copilot, the person that made this orb plugin, and set and I put those textures into the timeline and set the diffuse, illumination, bump map, and I think there's one more down here. Yeah, and glossiness map. I don't think I set it to that though, because that makes it look odd. So once I've done that, I put the texture in, turned the textures off so it wasn't showing in the background, it was just wrapped around the planet. Made sure there was no harsh lines on the planet, because I think one of my tests when I did this, there was a harsh line where the clouds were, which made it look odd. With a bit of colour grading, colour correction, illumination, and a bit of small glow that is in this plugin, I got this look out of the planet, which I think looks quite good. Obviously by itself it's not fantastic, but with everything else it looks perfect. The next layer was the clouds, so if I solo this clouds layer, to make these clouds, if I go on to here, I added a extract effect, because without the extract, that's not how it should look, but if I push this back, then you can see there's loads of blacks. If I turn this off, oh no, that's not how it, okay, that's messing up a little bit. But I extracted the colour black, which meant I was left with just the whites of the clouds, which is very helpful. So when I turn it off, that's a see-through, the black is see-through, the clouds are white. When I come into here, so that's cloud layer 1. Clouds layer 2 is just a really odd box blur. That's very harsh on my eyes. but without it, it looks like this, and I prefer it with, it gives it a sort of glow. And then the haze layer, that creates an atmospheric glow. I made it slightly greeny yellowy just to match the planet and the light coming onto the ship. So without the planet, it looks like this. I think it looks very good. I'm quite happy with the way the planet turned out. I also animated on the clouds layer some keyframes here and here just to turn very subtly to make it more realistic. It looks slightly real. Once I'd done that, I color graded the ship. So I think here I color graded the ship so it was more of a greeny kind of cold color. So without the curves, it looks kind of warm and quite dry. I think that looks quite dry now, and now it kind of looks cold and green, suiting the atmosphere that it's about to go into. I think that looks quite good. The benefit of using this PNG sequence is I was able to mask out where the jets are. So if I go back a little bit to here, yeah. So this mask shows where the jets are, and without that mask, the rockets look like that, and with it looks like that. So to do this, I use a glow, a shine, and a heat wave effect. The heat wave is quite handy because it shows heat coming off it, so it makes it a bit wobbly, a bit like the effect turbulent displacement. I could have done that without the heat wave plugin, but it just makes it look hot, which is perfect for this jet, because if you're going to have a jet in space, it's going to be very hot. The glow makes it brighter, adds some glow. The shine creates this cool like flare effect coming off the jet, as you'd get like from a camera. I tried to use an optical flare to make it look slightly more realistic, but it didn't really work very well, and I prefer the shine. And then I followed that mask going wherever the ship went, and I think that looks very good. So once I'd done that, the last thing I had to do was create the stars. And to do this, I thought, well, I could use either Particular, CC Particle World, or something like that. However, I did think that at this point, if I tried to render lots of particles, this project would end up crashing, and I didn't want to have to spend ages trying to render things through just to see what a preview looks like. So I found high quality images of stars and placed them in a border around the camera movement. So when the camera flips around, you can see the stars in the background, and they're like interacting with the environment instead of it just being a 2D flat image. And I did this by setting the modes to 3D down here. And that was very handy. I thought that was quite a good way of doing it, just to keep it quite simple for me. And you can see when the camera moves around, the borders are interacting. Finally, I created a little camera shake as a ship goes past. I did this with an expression, so if I go to position, click down, you can see I've got a wiggle effect. The number 40 is how fast the wiggle happens, and then I parented with the pick whip tool here up to this slider control up there, which gave me the rest of the expression. And then when I keyframed the slider control, so it went up here, and then I used keyframes on the slider control, so it went up and down, so it shaked quite nicely. It was quite difficult to do because the camera was panning. It was quite hard to tell that it was shaking about. So I did a few tests with that, and then I've got a slow zoom out because I had to make sure the camera was zoomed in so the edges wouldn't be shown, it wouldn't like fall off the composition or anything like that. But yeah, then I've rendered it out. I did that a couple times just to make sure it was all good, and finally got this shot. You can see everything that went into it. The clouds are moving, there was a little subtle shake, and I'm very happy with it. This took, I think it took about 12 hours to edit. I spent all day doing this, from about 9 o'clock in the morning, but I'm very happy with how this turned out. Yeah, that's everything. That's